Hi everyone, Kari here, and this is day 6 of the Abundance Challenge. Now, before I tell you day six's affirmation, I want to go over a little bit about day five's affirmation. So, really quickly, day 5 was money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, my supply is unlimited. So, this is a really strong affirmation in my eyes, and I think the energy in this affirmation is very intense, it's very strong, because a lot of people, including myself, I'm guilty as charged of this, thinking that money is our supply, that money sustains us, that we need money in order to live, which really, the thing that we really need to live is breathing, I guess you could say. But the affirmation is kind of just saying, I know we're getting caught up in, well, you need money to buy food. If you don't have food, you don't, survive, which is true in a way, but there are ways of getting food without money. So without spending money, you can actually live life. Right now, the world is so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's so concentrated on money for everything, money for food, money for travel, money for anything. Getting together with people usually revolves around money. And that's where our biggest problem is, thinking that in order to sustain our lives or to supply stuff in our lives that we need money, which, I don't know where this all started, but this is actually a block that we have. And it's very hard to just kind of look yourself in the face and say, money is not my supply. I have had so many different frustrations about this, thinking and saying, well, I can't go there because I don't have the money, or I can't buy that because I don't have the money, or it's a little too expensive, I'm not going to be able to pay for it. And I'm blocking that energy that is trying to get to me. So for a good example is, and this is about a upcoming recent event. I'm looking to go to a conference here in Japan, and it's a fairly expensive conference. It's about $650. And, that's, quite a bit of money for, a workshop. So I wrote down that, the money that I needed. And, I keep on saying, okay, well, it's coming up, it's next month, and I still don't have the money. And then all of a sudden, poof, on the 10th, I'm going to be receiving that amount of money. And it's not from anything that I am doing. It's not from a job or anything like that. I'm just receiving gratuity, I guess I should say, of, that amount of money. So working to get money and working to get money for food and everything, that's part of life, obviously, but you also have to think that money is not the supply, and money will not get you everything you want. Because if you open up the energy and you really want something, and it's the divine time to have it come to you, it will, in means of ways that you wouldn't even expect. So don't always rely on saying, money is my supply, because it's not. You can receive that money from someone else, or walk down the street and all of a sudden, boom, there's what you need, and it's for free. So of course it does cost money to do things, but how to get that money can be, it can come in certain ways and surprising ways. But never think that the money is going to sustain your life. It will help out with some stuff, of course, because like I said, the world revolves around money. But don't ever think that if you don't have money, you're never going to be able to sustain yourself or to live on. Think of, I hate to say this, but think of all the homeless people out there who don't have money. But they're still out there. They're still, day to day, you still see them. And they don't, if you ask a homeless person, and I have done this before, if you ask a homeless person, why are you homeless, or why don't you have money, they rarely think of money as a sustainable object that will give them, sufficient, life. I mean, they're not going to have a good life because they don't have, the means to buy a house or anything like that. But people give them money. So they just sit out on the street doing nothing, and people are generous enough that they give them money. So what I mean by that description and that example is that homeless people or even rich people, they don't think of money the same way that, the medium class or lower class people in terms of financial, they don't think of money like we do. They just say, oh, okay, whatever. And believe me, living with experience of people that have money, they don't think about it. And the more they don't think about money sustaining their lives, the more money comes to them because they're opening up for that energy, because they're not believing that money is their supply. So I hope that kind of made sense to you all. I know I'm kind of rambling on a bit because I like to ramble. But going on with the next part of the affirmation, my awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all-providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. So the thinking that this supply, this this activity of the divine mind within yourself, you're thinking of all-providing substance from, God and yourself, your God self, is what your supply is. And when you finally realize the truth in this, when you're very conscientious about this truth, you're going to have unlimited supply coming to you. And, whether that be love, money, career, whatever. If you think and you know the truth that you're not sustained by money, you're not sustained by, the need to be with somebody, or the need to be alone or anything like that, or the need for clientele, when you finally let go and say, they're not my supply, because we did in the last affirmation, no person, or rather up at the top, it says no person, place, or condition is your supply. So no person giving you money is your supply. Your parents giving you money, your employer giving you money, place, your workplace, clientele, anything. That's not your supply. So once you realize this truth, that your divine mind is thinking, once that's processed, you open up the doors to start receiving the abundance in everything. And then you realize that, this truth is unlimited because it's the truth of your mind. It's the truth of this energy, and energy is unlimited. Therefore, your supply is unlimited. So, how people sometimes say, reach for the stars? You can reach for the stars, but you can even go further than that and go out all over the universe. Energy is non-stop. It doesn't end. It's going on until infinity. So isn't your supply. And so isn't that energy, that is the limited energy around you. So just take in all that energy and try and really connect and try to realize that money is not your supply, love is not your supply, like a relationship, meaning love, is not your supply, that you, yourself, and God is the supply. And once you open up to that realization, then that's when the money will start to come, and that's when the love will start to come, and the relationships will start to come, and so on and so forth. All right, so moving on to affirmation 6. And this is what the picture looks like. I always get this wrong, okay. Gotta remember, left and right. It's all backwards. Okay, so affirmation number 6 is, my inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my needs and desires. And as the principle of supply in action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfilled desires. So that is affirmation number 6. So from now, take 15 minutes if you can, write down the affirmation in your journal for day 6, and then meditate upon it and write down any of your feelings, impressions, visions, whatever you have, write it down. And like always, if you have any questions, comments, frustrations, or even stories that you want to share, feel free to post it on the YouTube channel underneath this video for the comments, or send it to my Facebook page at facebook.com. Yeah, facebook.com/lightworkercrewy. And I will email you back in response. So I hope everybody has a great day. I send you lots of love, light, and abundance. Have a nice day. Namaste.